Hello everyone, and welcome back to RuneScape. So today we're going to be checking out the Weapon Diversity beta, which just came out today, and we are just going to be kind of trying out the different weapons. Some of them will be able to see the effects, some of them will just have to assume they're there. Some of them, like the Fire Spell one, are really RNG, and I don't feel like spending 10 minutes trying to do it, which I tried to do earlier. It just wasn't fun. But yes, so we're just going to kind of try the things out. We're not going to be doing like any detailed breakdown of like, oh, this number's bigger now because of the effects, like with earth spells and stuff. Like, it's just not worth it for me when someone else is going to do it much better than I could ever do, because I'm not really a combat person. Anyway, so starting off with air spells, just because. You can go ahead and see here, it makes this appear. So for every hit with an earth spell, it'll give you this Leaf on the Wind boost. It starts at 1%, goes up 1% for each hit, up to 10%, and it's just a 10% armor boost. So if you're wearing good armor, you get 10% better of that, which can be pretty significant at the higher levels. As an air spell user, I'm not going to complain about this. It's not like an amazing DPS boost, but I've always liked to not have to heal a lot, so getting a defense boost does make me happy, even if it doesn't really help with like making your damage output better so you get better soul split or something, but it's still something, you know. It's better than it was before, but obviously everything's getting better than it was before, kind of. Not everything, basically, is what I'm saying here. But yes, so anyway, with Water Surge, I've been having some weird things happen where like, the effect doesn't always seem to activate. It doesn't say anything about the effect not being guaranteed. So what's supposed to happen is when you kill them, a puddle of water will appear, and then you stand in the water and you get it. But what seems to happen is it appears, and if you're standing next to it, you just get the effect instantly. Which is kind of weird. I didn't think it was supposed to work like that. But also, like, sometimes I've been killing these guys because they don't walk up to you, and sometimes they don't seem to give it. I don't know if that's like if someone else attacks first, then it doesn't happen, or what. I thought it might be the auto collection of the chest, but I turned it back on and this started working now. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on here, why sometimes it seems to work, sometimes it doesn't, why it auto collects when you're standing next to stuff. These are all mysteries to me, but yeah, basically it's another defensive type 1, but a little more hands-on than the air spells, because you have to actually be next to the water to get it. Now the earth spells one, that is a bit different because this one will give you, let me get the exact number here. While your target is stunned or bound, you will deal 20% more damage to them. So that's a very mechanical one that we can't really show here very well. I mean, I can go ahead. Yeah, this is my stunning and binding thing here, so I could stun them, and then, you know, we'll be doing more damage than we would have otherwise, but you just have to trust me on that. Oh no, we have the corruption over us. Let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so, oh, and if you're curious about why I'm wearing this junk, I just put on whatever hybrid-y, all-type category things I had lying around in my bank, just so that we could swap weapons around, because we're not just doing magic. But yeah, this last one's fire. This one's a bit of a tough one to show off because it only has a 5% chance of activating, and I'm not sure if it has like a visually distinct icon from Combust right now. So it's kind of hard to tell whether I'm the one doing it or if it's actually happened on its own. But I mean, it's basically just a Combust, right? Let's see. 5% chance while hitting with anything, the second Combust acts like the magic ability Combust, but can happen at the same time. And if it triggers again, then it refreshes the duration back to full. So yeah, basically, if it happened, it's just an extra Combust, which they seem to like giving out Combust type effects to stuff, but I mean, it's a DPS boost, and it's the only one that doesn't require like extra effort in terms of how you play with magic. But yeah, that's it for magic. They didn't add any special things to the actual like staffs or orbs or anything. It's just these spells have effects now to put them more in line with the ancient spells having effects, which is good because I do like not having to use a whole bunch of runes, so I'm very much in the air surge camp. Whenever I don't care about DPS and having a little boost there, I won't complain. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to melee. We'll go ahead and fight these guys down here just so I have less of a chance of dying. But yeah, so Right now, you can go to the Combat Academy and get tier 92s for everything, except for mauls, because there was a bug with mauls, so you can only get tier 90 in that. But, yeah, we can just go ahead and put on the daggers. Let me scroll up to the dagger info and see what they do. Alright, so, with daggers, there is a chance for the dagger to attack a second time, but it's auto-attack damage. And when you're dual wielding, that's for both of them, meaning that you can potentially hit with both of them at twice in a row, essentially. So we could attack, and I don't know how visible this will be for us here, but we can try beating up this lizard and see. I don't know what the chance is. 5%, it says. So I don't know if we just saw it or not. I could just keep attacking for a while and you might see it, but I mean, it's a pretty simple concept, right? You hit twice. I think I just heard it happen, though, didn't I? Wasn't that like the old dagger special effect sound that I just heard? I feel like it was. I don't know. It might just be something I've not paid attention to, but yeah, daggers, once again, it's a 5% chance. I'm not gonna try too hard for that, but anyway, we can move on. Spears. So with spears, it just gives it a longer bleed effect duration, which applies to slaughter, blood tendrils, and dismember. And I don't know that I have any of those here. Oh, no, we do. All right. So yeah, basically, if we use this, it'll just last longer, which is not terrible, you know. 50% longer is a decent amount, but I don't use spears, so I don't know. It's not that exciting to me. Okay, so moving on swiftly, because there's a lot of weapons to go through, we have scimitars. So for scimitars, when you have one in the main hand slot, 5% of damage given will be applied as a damage over time that lasts for 7.2 seconds. When you're dual wielding, that's increased to a 10% of damage given. I'm guessing that's a boost of the damage and it doesn't just like do things. I don't know. I really don't know what's going on here. I guess you can see him taking little bits of 88 damage there. But yeah. I'm assuming it's bonus damage and that it doesn't just like convert your damage into damage over time, because there wouldn't really be a point in that. It doesn't actually say it that way though. I don't know, it feels like I'm not seeing. Oh, Katarina. Let's pet. I've never seen Katarina before, I think. I mean, this won't matter for the main game, but we've done it. We're about to die as well, which sucks. We'll lose all our money. Come on, die. They don't drop food in here, I think, so we're kind of out of luck there. But yeah, so that is scimitars, just a little bit of a damage boost there. So moving on to the two-handed sword. So the two-handed sword is that you heal for a percentage of all critical hits. And that percentage is apparently 5%. And it's instant, there's no delay or anything. I'm gonna go ahead and drop some of my items, just because if I die, then I'll have to pay the cost for these. And I don't really want to do that. Alright, so we got rid of that. Let's go ahead and beat up this corrupted lizard with this. See if we can get a critical hit. That was not a critical hit, that was just me using sacrifice. I don't know what the critical hit rate in this game is. Obviously it can't be too high. We are so gonna die. This vampirism is not keeping me alive. I should have brought stuff for this, but I didn't. I could use this, but we're still so low in health. I wish they would just disable death in this beta. Come on, get a critical hit. I want to see it. Now that we're using that, we don't have to worry so much, but we're still gonna die. Prayer cannot save us. Yep, there we go. We are dead. I guess I don't have to pick up the items. I can just leave and go get it back that way, and then we won't have to deal with paying. I don't want to spend all my money because, like, you get this one save on the beta server. So basically how it works is, the first time you log in on the beta server, it transfers your account over, assuming there's no glitch. There is a glitch where some people don't get transferred, and they're working on that. But that means that whatever I have right now is all that I have. And so if I want to go, like, try fighting a boss or something, then I'm going to need some cash. you know, to recover from deaths or to pay instance fees or stuff. So I don't want to waste my money because this is all I have. It's not much. So let's go ahead and run on back in here and get my items back real quick. There's been people like, I think there was a guy with like 1,000 elite caskets, which is excessive, and he's been opening them. It's not that guy. That guy might have a lot too, but he just like kept getting backstab capes and dies and whatever else for like the past hour. I don't know, has he gotten anything? No, he has not gotten anything in ours, so he might have ran out. I don't know. Let's reclaim all items. Yes, I don't care. Okay, so we were trying to get a critical hit here. Probably get it when we're at full health or something, and it won't matter. I just want to see the instant heal. It's all I ask for. Come on, critical hit. Watch, we'll get a critical hit on sacrifice, and then we won't even see it. That'll be my luck. Or maybe it doesn't even have a hit splat, in which case we've probably been healing already. I have no idea. Just waiting for that critical hit. Oh right, the treasure chest isn't working because we died. Come on. I'm about to give up on this. I don't know if I'm just missing it. Too many things to pay attention to, really. I'm just looking for... There, that was it. We just healed 105. Alright, so we're done there. Good stuff. Okay, so moving on from the two-handed sword, we have the maces. Maces are another one where we won't really see the effect, but how it works is when wielding a mace, 200% of your entire equipped prayer bonus is added to your strength bonus. When dual wielding, that's 300%. So these are basically, from what I've been seeing, people are thinking maces are going to be amazing for damage output. But I'm not really worrying much in terms of prayer boosting. We do have a prayer bonus of 4 from that and 2 from that. That might be it, though, as far as my items. So +6. And, yeah, that gets multiplied by the 300% and all, so pretty good DPS there. Obviously, this gives the new question of, will there be, like, a prayer boosting set that becomes, like, the best DPS set with this? It's kind of hard to say. Obviously, it depends on how the things balance out, whether or not they change things, because this beta lasts for the entire month of June. So, obviously, this update's not coming this month, because the beta will still be going. But, yeah, that's that. So that's it for the melee weapons, though, so we can go ahead and head on over to short bows. Wield our tier 92 arrows that we happen to get for free. I'll show you guys the Combat Academy before we end this episode, as long as I remember. Yeah, so for short bows, you get a small damage boost the closer you are to the target. But it's kind of an annoying thing because, you know, you're already weak to melee, so melee things are the things that are going to run up right next to you. So it's kind of like a bit try-hardy. I don't know. Me, like to have to always run right up next to something. If you could set to always be a distance, it'd be different. Because then, really, a Mimic kill token? I almost never get those. Okay, we could go fight the Mimic, I guess. I've never beat the Mimic, on the high difficulty at least. But yeah, so to give you the actual numbers, they deal 6% more damage, but you get minus 1% damage for each tile distance between yourself and the target. So if you're 3 tiles away, then you do 104% of what the current live game has. So, I mean, typically you'll probably be doing at least 1 or 2% more than you were before, but, you know, it just depends, really. So, anyway, moving on, shield bows. So what shield bows do is they make defense abilities cost 20% less adrenaline to use. And, so 40% adrenaline for thresholds or 80% for ultimates. Would that mean that this would use less as well? I mean, I guess it doesn't use it because it's a basic. I don't know what I'm thinking there. I don't know. I don't think any of these changes are visible on the actual interface. Yeah, because you can't even see the numbers listed anywhere, so yeah. I mean, I guess it's just something you have to know, is it does the things. I'm not even gonna bother showing it, I think, right? I guess I could try. What can we use here? Preparation, no, that's basic. I don't use abilities enough. They're all basics. That's why they're highlighted. Revenge. Oh, no, it does say it says 40% there. Right, it just wasn't saying it because you can tell I'm a noob because I was looking at all the basic abilities because they were highlighted. I got a golden rock for ranged. But yeah, no, it definitely does show. So if we take this off then and actually get over here, yeah, it says 50%. So that's good. That's good. I made a noob of myself, but at least it does show, so that's nice. Alright, so one-handed crossbows. Dual wielding, obviously. We'll also need to build our tier 92 bolts. So, the crossbows have a 2% chance when using a basic ability to use the basic ability again, basically. Using again, it won't make adrenaline or do a cooldown or anything, it just happens again one tick later. So, obviously with a 2% chance, I'm not gonna, like, try to actually get it to happen, because that would be really annoying. But, you can guess that maybe it's gonna happen. I don't know, I'm not even watching for it. But two-handed crossbows are a defense boost, which is if you stand still for at least 3 seconds, you get a 5% accuracy buff. So, is defense boost? Not really. I don't know why I said defense boost. It's, what's the word? I guess the word for standing still, you know? There's a word for it, and I cannot think of it. But, tanking boost, because tanks just kind of stand around. That was the word I was looking for, not defense. Don't know what's wrong with my brain. Anyway, yes, tier 92 crossbow. Basically, we've been standing still, so we should get the boost. And what is this? Oh, the corruption. Yeah, I should probably get rid of that. Maybe I'll survive. So yeah, you can see it looks like it does, yeah, stability. Accuracy buffed by 5%. So you'll know when you're getting it. I don't know if you have to be in combat for that to show up, or does it just stay there after you stood still? I guess we'll find out, because we'll let combat end and see if it stays. Any second now, combat will end. Oh, it goes away. So it doesn't mean that you don't get it at the start of a fight then? Okay. That's a bit of a downside to that. I don't know, I think that people were mentioning a bug involving these. I don't know what the bug was, so I don't know if that's it or what. But that's unfortunate. But moving on though, we do have throwing knives, because those are a thing. Not a very popular thing, but they are a thing. So for throwing knives, you have -5 levels in weapon damage and accuracy, but the global cooldown is 1.2 seconds instead of 1.8. Basically, they're weaker, but they let you attack with abilities faster, which is potentially powerful. I don't know how the numbers work out, but you can go ahead and just try attacking and kind of see what happens here. Definitely feels like things are moving pretty fast. Lots of damage. Yeah, that's definitely interesting to see them get something, and hopefully it's something cool. So I didn't know these dropped corrupted magic logs. That's interesting. Anyway, throwing axes, because they also exist, even though no one really cares about them normally. So, normally you gain 2% adrenaline with an auto attack, and that's only 1% with offhands. So, whenever you use throwing axes, both of those numbers are doubled. So it's 4% from a main hand auto attack and 2% from an offhand. So basically, double adrenaline from auto attacks, which I don't know how often you use auto attacks really. I have no idea. But it's definitely a thing, and we can go ahead and try it out with these tier 92 throwing axes. You can watch as my adrenaline rises. I guess. I don't know. I mean, we can force auto attacks by just switching to another action bar, and then everything we do will be an auto attack, except for the very rare Tuska's Wrath. But I'm gonna die from doing this, so that sucks. Luckily, though, that was the last thing to check out. So, yeah, I'll pay for my items. It's only 250k, apparently. Good stuff. Using up all my hard-earned money sucks. Anyway, let's go ahead and go to the Combat Academy so we can see the chaos. Probably see people complaining about why they're level 3 because they're one of the ones with the bugs and people being stupid as usual. You know, the typical Combat Academy stuff. But I can show you guys the store where you get these things from, and you can see people attacking and stuff. People who know what they're doing, attacking and getting ridiculous numbers that I was not getting. Look at all this crap. So many high numbers. But yeah, so this Lady Deathnell has the store here. You can see we got all these tier 92s. I think you can get them all maybe, but you can't wear it unless they fixed it already. Oh, maybe they fixed it. I don't know. I thought it was broken still, but whatever. But yeah, you can see you have all these. Oddly enough, when you get down at the bottom, you'll find that they actually still charge for the runes, which is kind of annoying. Hope you brought runes. If you didn't, well, you're out of luck. Yeah, for some reason it also has like all these tier 60 things and tier 1 things for free. I don't know. I guess if you're lower level, you'd want to still try out the effects, and now you can with the lower stuff. I suppose it makes sense since they don't have any like level editing features for this. You can also, if you're tired of the chaos, enter an instance here where it's just you, and then you can attack these dummies. I could have been doing this, but we wouldn't have been able to see certain things like the water effect because you can't kill a dummy, and also we were rolling chances at HSRs basically, hoping for that stupid troll drop, which we didn't get. I mean, there is still something we could try. One last attempt at getting some RNG that sucks, which is we can open up a reward casket. Oh. Apparently you can't open caskets and instances. Who knew? Ah, junk. Still junk. Oh well, I tried. I need to do more clue scrolls. We got the episode coming up in a few days. I've been too busy messing around on my Iron Man account to actually bother with it, which is bad. I mean, we did get an ornament kit, hooray. But yeah, so that is the beta. So my thoughts on it is overall, I think the effects they've done are relatively okay. The water one seems a little weird in just how it's functioning. My phone is getting a spam call. I don't know what that's about. I'm just gonna throw it away. But yeah, like, I think the effects are mostly okay. I just think the water one was acting a little weird on me. I don't know what that was about, because I didn't get on camera, but I was killing lizards and scorpions and stuff, and they weren't giving me the water thing. I don't know if it's because somebody came by and attacked them first, but yeah. And also just the way that it like automatically happens when you're standing next to them just doesn't seem to match what it says on the actual thing. Other than that, though, the thing is, I was really hyped for this weapon diversity update, but the fact they're not doing all the types of weapons at once kind of hinders that hype for me. Because, for one thing, batched updates are already problematic because who knows if or when they'll ever get around to adding, you know, whip effects or whatever else. There's like so many weapons. Battle axes aren't even getting an effect. And I feel like battle axes really should, because I think it'd be cool to have battle axes be relevant. They were a major thing back in the day. I mean, back when I was a noob on my main account, I used a battle axe. I had a dragon battle axe, and it was like my main weapon for months, I think, on that account. Mostly because it was easy to get, but regardless, like, it kind of sucks that battle axes will remain irrelevant for who knows how long until they get around to adding more weapons to this. And it's weird because I think they actually had like effects for all of them figured out. I don't know if I can find this in any reasonable amount of time, but we can try at least. Thing is, now that it's out, it's going to be real hard to find the old information from when they first had it. Let's see. Do they have anything? No. I cannot find it. Sorry, guys, but I mean, it's out there for sure, but actually finding it is difficult. What in the world is all this noise? I have no idea what that noise was. Here we go. I just think I just found it. Okay. Yeah, they originally ran out a whole lot of stuff. Like short swords, we're going to have a chance to use a main hand auto attack after an ability. Rapiers, we're going to have a chance to not activate the global cooldown on your next attack. Hostas, we're going to give you access to two-handed abilities when using a shield. Defenders, we're going to allow dual wield and shield abilities, and a 30% accuracy boost, and a 1 out of 15 chance to deflect a hit, which I guess is what it already does. But yeah, claws, we're going to cause a bleed when you crit. Longswords, we're going to give you an accuracy buff if you miss. Battle axes, we're going to deal more damage when you're above 80% adrenaline, and the buff builds up over time, which that does actually sound kind of fun. I wish they would do that, honestly. I don't know if it would be the best, but it'd be nice to have an excuse for them to actually make old things relevant. Let's see. The whip was every attack hits enemies in a range 2 cone in front of you. That was, like, for certain things, that sounds really fun. And it sucks that's not going to happen. Let's see. Warhammers, we're going to have auto attacks be area of effect, which is, I guess you could see that one as being problematic, except that Warhammers are mostly irrelevant right now, so there wouldn't be anyone like, oh, dang it, now my favorite weapon just does AoE when I don't want it to, because there's like, why would you be fighting with a Warhammer generally? And Mauls, we're going to give a stacking damage buff after killing an enemy. Need to make sure I stay logged into the game as we watch all these people do chaos over here and say who knows what, because I'm busy reading a document here. So they were gonna they didn't have anything listed for staffs. They hadn't figured that one out yet, but wands, we're gonna have every critical hit fires off a spell of your choosing, which is interesting. Orbs, we're going to have an increased crit chance whenever the opponent has an active magic damage over time effect, which is kind of weird. Books, we're going to boost spell effects. Rebounders, which I don't even know what a rebounder is, but I guess they're in the game. They already have, oh, they're the defender for magic. Okay. And they have the same effect, just for magic. They already exist. They actually changed the effects on fire spells. I'm not looking at the ones that exist, but yes, these are different. But I'm just looking at the ideas they had for the ones they didn't do. Let's see. They're going to have composite bows let you move while channeling. Let's see. Reprisers already exist. Darts. Yeah, they didn't do darts, did they? They're going to have darts stack up a defense debuff on enemies. Is pretty interesting. They are going to have javelins hit the first 5 targets and a line between you and your target, which is a very interesting effect. But they didn't do it. That's the effects that they had way back whenever. 6 months ago, maybe? I don't know, that's where the link I got one. I got the link from a post that was 6 months ago, so at least 6 months ago. Yeah, like, some of those would have been fun, and I hope that they do actually do that and don't just release the 16 weapons they've got in this beta and that's it. I would really rather wait longer and have them release everything. Also, what in the world is going on with this? Ease. I don't even know. But yeah, I'd rather have them wait and do all of them at once than do batched updates. That's just my opinion, though. But still, like, the weapon diversity update overall, just making things more relevant will be fun, as long as this beta helps them get things balanced properly so that we don't have one specific weapon become the ultimate power and all the others are still completely irrelevant except for very situational things like maybe the healing one would be good for AFK and stuff like that. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I'll see you guys next time for a more normal episode. I think we're going to be doing a quest. I think that's what we were supposed to do. But then they announced that this beta was coming out, so I decided to do this instead. But yeah, I'll see you guys then. Bye.